Howdy folks, and I hope you're all happy and healthy out there in collecting land. And welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today it's a figure so tough, a figure so mean and so legendary that all my other 1/6 scale figures have retreated into their boxes, quaking in fear and won't come out. Yes folks, it's the GOAT that is Chuck Norris. As Colonel James Braddock from the 1984 Canon classic Missing in Action, brought to us by the almost as legendary Kaustic Plastiks. Yes folks, it's the action figure that all other action figures will be judged by, and found wanting. Usual format folks, box, accessories, figure, then showcase at the end. But before we dive in, yes, you've guessed it, a huge shout out to everyone who supported the channel, and please drop a like on this review as it helps other people find Go Figure. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you don't miss any of the 1/6 scale action figure news, views and reviews that we've got coming up. So, what can I say about Chuck Norris and Missing in Action? The movie itself, I'm going to piss some people off here, but I think it's pretty appalling, even by 80 standards. But that's not the point. It's got Chuck Norris karateing and M60ing his way through wave after wave of bad guy, in the way only Chuck can. And what 6 scale action figure collection would be complete without a Chuck, I ask you? But enough of my MIA meanderings, onto the box, and it's the usual slipcover design from Kaustic Plastiks. This box has literally just come through the door, gone straight in front of the camera. So what are we looking at on the front? You've got this artist rendition of Chuck himself from the movie, reminiscent of the poster art for the film. It says Missing in Action in that font from the movie as well. Colonel James Braddock, exclusive 1/6 scale action figure, and MGM's logo at the bottom there. Very nice presentation and the high standards we've come to expect from KP. On the right hand side says Colonel James Braddock. You've got this sort of camo effect going on, infinite statues and Kaustic Plastiks logo at the bottom there. Pretty much the same story around here, only it says Missing in Action instead of James Braddock. On the top it says Missing in Action once again, and the same thing on the bottom as well. And the eagle-eyed amongst you'll notice the seals are still intact on this one. Around the back, more of that camo action going on. You've got this barbed wire going across the middle there, it says Missing in Action across the top, and this is the web exclusive, which is a 123 out of 200. And in the bottom left hand corner you've got all the usual credits and warnings. Don't piss this figure off, well because it's Chuck Norris. What more can I say? So let's flip it round and slip off the slip cover itself and have a look at what we've got underneath. As per usual, clear plastic window here with the figure underneath it, and I'm assuming the magnetic base is behind him there with all the accessories around the side. It says Colonel James Braddock. You've got a continuation of that barbed wire going on, and a list of all the features that come with this particular figure, so if you're wanting to read that, feel free to hit pause. And that's pretty much it for the figure itself, apart from around the back where those list of features are continued, and you've got a really nice shot of Chuck himself in the jungle on the back there. So that's the box. So without further ado, let's do what we always do. Let's crack the seals open on Chuck, let's drag out the accessories and take a look at everything he comes with. Box open, accessories out, so what do you get with your Chuck Norris figure? Well, there's quite a lot to go at here. Kaustic Plastiks haven't skimped on the accessories, as always. There are 3 different versions of this figure. There's a standard version, a deluxe version, and an exclusive version. Obviously this is the exclusive version. I'm not going to try and differentiate between which accessories come with which individual figure. I know there are some that are specific to the exclusive, but it gets complicated for an old man. So if you're wanting to know what comes with each specific type of figure, please check out Kaustic Plastiks' website. But what do you get? Well, we'll start with the mundane stuff first. As with all Kaustic Plastiks figures, you get this card which tells you the do's and the don'ts with the figure and thanks you for buying the figure. Nice to see. And you also get this art card with a replication of what's on the art box itself, and it's got a list of the all who were involved in the production of the figure, and just a thank you for buying it. So yeah, nice inclusion as always. Hands, let's take a look at the hands. Now, there are a fisted pair on the figure already. We'll take a look at those when we bring it out. There are 8 hands in total of 4 pairs. They're all gloved. Let's grab a couple at random and see what we're looking at. You've got all different types of hands. You've got gripping hands for the accessories. I think that's possibly for the torch. You've got open palm hands, obviously trigger finger hands. Where would Chuck be without a trigger finger? And more gripping hands as well. But the actual sculpt and paint application looks pretty good here. Let's try and get this close into the camera. Yeah, really nice sculpt going on here. That leather texture's been captured really well in the sculpt there. Paint application's really nice. You've got some weathering on the finger, on the knuckles there, and on the creasing in the gloves themselves. And you can almost see fingernails through the tips of the gloves. Yeah, really nice sculpt going on here, as we sort of come to expect from Kaustic Plastik and their hands. Flexibility test. We're looking at a soft to medium. So hopefully, fingers crossed, there should be no need for a for a hairdryer or hot water with this particular figure. So yeah, as I say, you get open palm hands, gripping hands, and they're all of the same high quality sculpt and paint application. So yeah, good start there with the hands. Let's pop those to one side. A lot of weaponry, obviously. We'll get to that. Worth mentioning at this point, actually, with this being the web exclusive, what you do get, as with all web exclusives with Kaustic Plastik, you get the t-shirt. It's still in its bag. I've not got it out yet, but yeah, it's a large t-shirt, and it's got the same picture from the art box on the front of it. It also says Chuck Norris on it as well. Nice inclusion as always. It's in this sort of bottle combat green colour. So yeah, that's your t-shirt. Yeah, let's take a look at the weapons. We will start with the M16. Now I believe this comes with the deluxe and the exclusive, not the standard. I think the standard just gets the M60, but don't quote me on that. As I say, check out the website. All one piece of sculpted plastic, and very nicely done it is too. The barrel at the end there and the main body of the gun, really nice paint applications there to give it that metallic look. And there's silver dry brushing on there to accent the details. Just really nice. It's got that worn look. The black areas not so much. It's got this what feels like a nylon strap, which is attached to the end with plastic hooks. I'm assuming we're going to be looking at a removable magazine here. Yes, we are. Removable magazine with sculpted and painted bullets. Always nice to see. So yeah, that's your M16. You also get the M60. Now, straight out of the box, I've got to say, and I've seen a few M60s in my time, and this is a good one. This is definitely a very good one. The accuracy is most certainly on point there in the sculpt. The paint applications are the first thing that caught my eye here. I hope the light's catching this, because most of the M60s I've seen in 1/6 scale tend to be a little bit more in 1 or 2 individual coats of paint here. But Kaustic Plastik, and if the light's catching this, you've got brass sort of colours going on. You've got browns, you've got blacks, and different shades of greys. It's the paint application that really impresses here, picking out the copper tones in the tripod area. Just very, very nicely done. Then you've got that silver dry brushing to give it that weathered look, and then this streaking on the section where the ammo goes through the top of the gun itself. Really, really nice. Obviously, functioning tripod section, as always with these guns, and the lift-off section at the back, if this one wants to work, so you can actually put the ammo into the gun itself. And you've got a sight there at the front, and which lifts up and down. And as with all M60s that I've ever seen, it's got the handle going on there. And as with all M60s in 1/6 scale I've ever seen, that is super delicate, so I would say exercise caution. That thing will snap off if it's not treated with due respect. So yeah, but this section lifts off, and it also comes complete with full metal bullets. The belt feed itself is metal, and then each of the individual bullets is metal as well, which is great to see. And as with all these things, it's simply a case of popping it in there, and I hope I can do this on camera, see if I can't get my hands to work that into place. And then you just simply clip that section of the M60 down, and then you can just sort of bend them off at an angle like that, so it looks like it's being fed through the gun. So yeah, nice bullets, nice gun. So good paint, good sculpt. We are off to an excellent start. What else do you get weapons wise? You get the M79 grenade launcher. Now I know this is part of the web exclusive. You don't get this with the standard or the deluxe edition. All one piece of sculpted plastic. The paint applications perhaps not quite as good as the M60, but they're okay. You've got that what looks like sculpted in. It may very well be actually just in the paint applications, but yeah, the wood effect's pretty good on the stock there. You've got wood effect underneath the barrel. This actually comes in a canvas holdall. And you have to take it out when it arrives. Now, I would say exercise caution with this holster come holdall, because the top part of the sights of the grenade launcher are very delicate. And mine got caught as I was taking this out, and I had to be super careful not to snap it. So yeah, watch out for that. But the grenade launcher itself is pretty well sculpted, pretty well painted. It's got that cocking action that we see with this type of grenade launcher. You just slide that little lever over to the top there, and the barrel opens, so you can have him loading it if you want to. As mentioned, that sight pops up, although it is super delicate. No strap on this, which I was surprised to see. There's no strap going on, although there are the hooks there for the strap. I did revisit the film prior to making this review, and I'm not sure whether it actually had a strap in the film. I would probably hazard a guess that it didn't, if Kaustic Plastik haven't included it, because they're not the kind to drop the ball on the small details. So yeah, that's the grenade launcher, and as I mentioned, comes with the pouch, which is really nicely done in canvas. You've got this nylon strap going on. Great to see as well, it's magnetically clasped at the top there. Two tiny magnets, but they are secure enough to hold in place, so that's great to see. And there's weathering going on here. If the light's catching it, you've got brown around the top of the pouch there, and you've got brown down the edges, and there's some on the main body as well. Weathering's really good. It's not overly weathered, but it is there. So nice to see it's been weathered as well. So that's the holster it comes with. Oh, talking of the grenade launcher, you also get two grenades. These are metal. I was really surprised when I took these out of the box. Solid metal. They just feel really nice in the hands. They've got that brass paint application going on. And if you're wanting to, you can have one in this hand, or you can put one in the end of the in the grenade launcher itself, and it's just really nice to see the metal, and you get two of them. So yeah, that's the grenades. Set of spare wrist pegs as always. What else? You get the torch. Relatively straightforward, plastic sculpt here, but it's pretty effective. There is some silver dry brushing on top of that green, just to give it a little bit of a worn look, and it's been painted at the end there to simulate the reflective glass of the lens of the torch itself. So yeah, one torch, one set of wire cutters, all plastic, and the paint application on here is just really good. Yeah, once again you've got that silver dry brushing going on to give it that metallic look, and to all intents and purposes from a distance these look metal. So yeah, wire cutters. Now in the description on Kaustic Plastiks website, they describe this as TNT, and I'm pretty certain that this is not TNT, that this is C5 plastic explosives, which he uses to attack the POW camp. But yeah, all one piece of sculpted plastic, really nicely done, grey there, and sort of a knobbly brick look to simulate the C4. And on the front you've got a little keypad, the digital keypad, and some wires going on as well, and there's two of them. So yeah, nice inclusion from Kaustic Plastik. Set of binoculars. Now these are really nicely done, I've got to say. They're all one piece of sculpted plastic, but you've got these green and black paint applications going on to give that rough texture on the top there. Silver dry brushing as always, and silver dry brushing around the edges of the lenses to give them that weathered look, and they function as well. They roll in and roll out, so if you want to have him holding them and looking through them, you can really muck about with those. So yeah, nicely sculpted, nicely painted set of binoculars. A watch, one watch, relatively simple, sculpted plastic, and it's 20 past 8. I don't know whether that's significant, but there you go. You get some watch as well. Now I know this is exclusive to the exclusive edition. You get this piece of barbed wire. Now this is full metal, this barbed wire, so I would say exercise caution. Although the barbs themselves aren't super sharp, you could snag yourself on this. So yeah, just a full metal piece of barbed wire, and it's posable, so you can bend this and you can have it on the display, have it off to one side, really pretty much do anything you want with it. So yeah, a piece of barbed wire. And you also get his backpack. Now, all canvas this, and very nicely done. Not dissimilar in the weathering to the holster for the grenade launcher that we just looked at. But yeah, canvas with what feels like canvas edging here. It doesn't feel like now, it feels like this is all canvas. And just really well done. Stitch work is on point. You know me and my 6 scale stitch work. I am a stickler for it because it will throw off a piece if it's not properly to scale, but Kaustic Plastik have nailed it here. Yeah, and overall just very well done. It's got a couple of pieces of foam inside to give it that shape, and the straps on the back are once again nicely stitched, and the whole thing just looks very good with that weathering. So yeah, that's your backpack. Finally, the base, and pretty much the standard issue Kaustic Plastik magnetic stand that we've come to know and love. Hollow plastic. On the bottom, you've got 4 feet, which is great to see, minimizing slippage. It says Kaustic Plastik and Infinite Statues, designed in Italy, and then you've got that action deluxe figure embossed in the center there. At the front, it says Missing in Action in that sort of gold weathered lettering across the front there. That's plastic, that nameplate on the front there. And then on top, you've got this sticker going on of what looks like a jungle floor. And I've got to say, straight out of the box, I'm not awfully impressed with that sticker there. I think it would have looked a lot better if maybe they'd taken a photograph of some real jungle floor foliage maybe. That looks like something out of a kiddie's book to me. That does not look very impressive at all. So yeah, not super impressed with that. Maybe that could have been improved, but overall, yeah, it's the base we've come to know and love from Kaustic Plastik. So there you have it. That's all the accessories, folks. So without further ado, let the drum roll commence, and let's bring out the legend that is Chuck. Get him onto the stand, onto the turntable, and let's get in his face. Okay folks, so here's Chuck, straight out of the box, straight onto the stand and turntable, and first impressions. I've got to say, yeah, pretty positive first impressions. The proportions, there's something niggling me about these proportions, and we're going to have to get to this before the end of this review, but it just looks a tad on the slim side to me. Not too slim, it's not ridiculously pronounced, but there's something there that's not sitting quite right in the proportions department for me. But we'll do as we always do. We will give him a once over. The outfit looks absolutely on point. The head sculpt looks excellent. The weathering on there, the screen accuracy looks on point. It's difficult to say regarding the shade of green that they've gone for here with the fatigues. Having revisited the film and having looked at numerous stills prior to this review, it depends on whether you're watching it on a DVD, on Blu-ray, whether you're streaming it, whether you're watching it on an old VHS, or what film stock was used for the stills from the movie. The green can vary, so I'm going to take Kaustic Plastik's word that this is the accurate green. But yeah, let's stop him from spinning and have a close-up look at Chuck. I haven't added any of the accessories because we're going to be obviously going all over him and having a good look at him. But yeah, we'll do that prior to going in for a verdict on this guy. Let's start at the bottom as we always do. Sculpted boots, sculpted military style boots, and they're pretty good, I've got to admit. All one piece of sculpted plastic, real laces going on here. There is an awful lot of lace, of excess lace going on. That's the first thing that I noticed. These are going to need to be trimmed down, I think, because they're all over the place. if Chuck wore his laces this long, he'd be tripping over himself all the time. But yeah, it's nice to see real laces in there. You're a bit limited on the movement because there's no split cut boot design here. It feels like the boots are directly pegged into the legs, but you've got a decent amount of movement. There's no real sort of lateral movement going on there, but there's a bit of forward and backward, and most certainly the side to sides there. But yeah, I think going for that solid boot option limits the movement somewhat. You've got sculpted in sort of stitch work on those boots. You've got tread on the soles there. There's weathering going on, not a vast amount of weathering, but if the light's catching this, there's sort of some sort of white silver dry brushing at the tips of the boots there, so they're not massively weathered, but there is weathering there. Moving up to the body itself now. Not an overly heavy figure, this one. Doesn't have a vast amount of weight to it, sort of a medium in the weight department, but Kaustic Plastik bodies are normally very good. Let's just quickly check the articulation before we look at the outfit. Yeah, you've got a double bend going on at the knee there, so that knee will go pretty much past 45, almost as far back as it will go. So yeah, and it feels really smooth. It feels quality. There's no ratchet there, but it just feels super sturdy, and yeah, it just feels I feel confident in moving it. So yeah, the combats themselves, let's take a look. So you've got a really nice quality cotton going on here. You can feel that straight away. Kaustic Plastik have gone for a high grade cotton on this on these camo, these army pants themselves. Stitch work, really good, as always, as we've come to expect from Kaustic Plastik. There are no threads hanging down. That 6 scale stitch work is working really well. It's not throwing the figure off. You've got weathering on these pants around the pocket area. That is that same brown colour that's been used on the backpack and on the holster for the grenade launcher around the back. Not so much weathering around the back, and I need to tuck those trousers back in because they popped out while I was futzing around with the foot. But yeah, it's there. Maybe a little bit more weathering might have been in order, but I think I may just be splitting hairs there. On the right leg, you've got this boot knife. Now, I'm not sure whether this is removable. I'm not even going to attempt that. Getting that back in would be a proper ball leg, I think, that one. But yeah, it's lashed to the leg with the same string that they've used for the laces. It looks like it's a plastic sheath. Whether it's removable is anybody's guess. Oh, it is. Yeah. Okay. Let's. Yeah. Sculpted plastic. Looks like a bayonet. Yeah, it's a bayonet knife. Which he's got strapped to his lower leg. So yeah, nice detailing there. Moving up, the jacket itself. Now, same material as the pants. Same level of stitch work. You've got these pockets at the front. They look like they're functioning pockets at the front there. Moving up, you've got the canvas belt, which has the sort of the holster arrangement going around his neck there. Once again, you've got another knife in the canvas straps. Now, I'm going to assume again that that's removable. I'm not taking that one out because it looks like there's a tiny little button going on there. I'm not sure how that's attached, but I'm going to be leaving that one where it is. That's not coming off. The straps on this sort of holster section are canvas. Yeah, there's sort of this I don't know, beige coloured canvas with weathering on there. If the light's catching this, there's weathering at the buckle section there with browns, and it sort of continues at the top. You've got a grenade tucked in there, which is nicely done. Paint applications are good, and silver dry brushing on there. You've got this canvas pouch attached to the belt. That's got foam in there, and it's pretty much done. It's just a smaller version really of the backpack. Let's lift his arm up so we can see how that's attached. Yeah, it's just looped around that canvas belt. Around the back, nice detailing on the continuation of that holster. It rides a little bit high, that sort of harness section. Maybe that's what's throwing the proportions off for me. Might need to futz that down a little bit. Riding a little bit too high for me, but the buckles themselves feel like metal where it attaches to the canvas belt, and the weathering on the back. Let's lift both of those arms up so you can see this. Yeah, that weathering is continued down the seam lines of the jacket, and it's great to see they've gone for the rolled up look. He pretty much had his sleeves rolled up for 90% of the film, if not all of it, and it would have been a bit of a ball ache if they'd put them down and you had to roll them up yourself. Let's check the articulation at the waist. Oh yeah, very good ab crunch going on there, nice to see, and a very good twist. That twist is only really limited by that that holster that he's wearing, that harness that he's got on. So yeah, good articulation at the waist. Let's check the top of the legs. Oh yeah, good range of motion here. I'm not sure whether you'd be able to get a roundhouse kick out of this, but it's pretty good. Let's see how far those legs are. Yeah, those legs will really go out to the sides. Probably only limited really by the stitching in the crotch of the pants there. So yeah, nice articulation in the legs, and there's a swivel there at the top as well, so you can muck around with the posing here. Now let's take a look at the articulation in the arms. What we got? Yeah, it's what we've come to expect from Kaustic Plastik. You've got a butterfly joint going on at the shoulder there, so there's a full range of movement in that arm, out to the sides and backwards and forwards, and at the elbow as well. You're going to be able to bring those arms right up, almost to his face. So great to see. And while we're on the arms, now what Kaustic Plastik have done here is, I mean, if I actually lift this sleeve up, you can see that when you get past that forearm there, it's pretty much just the standard body colour, but the forearms themselves, they've actually painted on hair. Now, it's not just painted on, actually, because when I run my thumb over this, I can feel the detailing. It feels rough. So I think what Kaustic Plastik have done here, because Chuck's a hairy guy, as we know, so they've not just painted this hair effect on, if the light's catching that, but they've also sculpted it in as well, which is great to see. So you've got those hairs down both of the forearms as well. And these are the fisted hands that we were talking about in the accessories section. Same level of sculpt and paint application there. Okay, up to the all-important head sculpt. Let's lower those arms because it's riding up a little bit. Now, this head sculpt, I'm going to try and get this in as close to the camera as I can. Now, having seen some photographs of this prior to getting it, I wasn't 100% convinced. Now I've got it in hand. It's a lot better than I thought it was. Absolutely, undeniably, Chuck Norris as James Braddock. I think, yeah, you will never mistake that for anyone else. It's Chuck. However, is it the best Chuck that we could possibly have expected from Kaustic Plastik? That's the big question. Let's just cover the details. Obviously, it's sculpted hair. The hair itself is really, really nicely done. The style is correct. The colour is right. You've got loads of different colours going on in here, from browns to reds to blondes, to pick out that sort of individual strands and style of his hair. Looks really good. You've got a sculpted in plastic headband, which is screen accurate. Love the way the fringe falls over the top of that. The beard itself, beautifully done, I've got to say. The individual strands are picked out. The sculpting on that beard is some of the best sculpting I've seen. There's a slight tonal change as well from sort of the chin area to the moustache area, which is actually it's actually screen accurate and accurate for Chuck. And that blends into the plastic of the hair itself really well with those sections that stick out over the ears. The face, now I'm struggling here a little bit. Is it 100% Chuck? My opinion, and remember this is just my opinion, folks, no it's not. There is something ever so slightly off for me, and I'm not sure what it is. As I say, this is a brand new figure, literally the first time I've had this in hand. And I think the skin texturing is really good. Those wrinkles on the face, the slightly darker areas under the eyes, they're excellent. The eyes themselves are nice and glassy and the right colour. Eyebrows are really well done. That furrow above the nose there, excellent. And as I say, unmistakably Chuck. However, there is just certain angles where it's not quite. The profile's excellent. That's absolutely on point. And the hair around the back as well. Forgot to mention that. That looks great. It's not a fixed neck head sculpt. There is some paint application on the neck there to give it that skin tone and texture. And underneath this this jacket, which is fastened with snaps, you do have that T-shirt as well. But is it 100%? No. Am I happy with it? Absolutely. Is it Chuck Norris? 100%. I'm just not sure it's quite nailed on. But let's get him back on that stand and talk about the proportions. Now, I think it could be me. Please let me know in the comment section if it is just me. And having revisited the film, I don't know. I don't know whether it's the way the uniform is falling, whether it's this holster section here. I think you can see it best side on. It just looks a little bit too slim for Chuck for me. I don't know. Is it me? Let me know in the comment section below. I do think that is an excellent head sculpt. I think it's just shy though of perfect. It's not quite perfect. I don't think it's I think it may be the positioning of the eyes, not 100% certain. So there you have it, folks. That's Chuck. I think what we should do next is tool the big guy up and go in for a final verdict. Okay, so it's time for a final verdict on Kaustic Plastiks' take on Chuck Norris from Missing in Action. Now, he's not spinning on the turntable at the moment because I've got him in this pose where he's only got 1 foot magnetised on the base and not entirely stable, but I kind of like this look of him stepping onto the base. And I've got him holding the M16, and this is the great thing about doing these reviews completely blind. I'm literally opening the box for the review itself, not seeing the figure. I can backtrack if I want to, and I'm going to do a little bit of backtracking here. First of all, the proportions that I mentioned earlier, yes, I don't think they're absolutely down to the millimeter perfect, but once you start putting the backpack on Chuck and you start adding the accessories, the proportions start to make more sense and it just works more for my eye. So maybe it could have been me and the way I was looking at it without any equipment on him at all, but it just makes more sense now. Also as well, that head sculpt, and I've spent a lot of time between takes here. There's been a bit of distance between the last take and this one, and I've had a chance to really examine that head sculpt, and it is a lot better than I'm giving it credit for. It is, in actual fact, it is excellent. I'm not going to say it's perfect, however, what is perfect? But it is much better than maybe I was indicating earlier in this review. It is pretty much nailed on. I'm going to give this guy a score. Now, you know that you know the channel, folks. I am a huge fan of Kaustic Plastik and their work. I think they're one of the finest 6-scale figure manufacturers out there at the moment. And it's not just in the quality of the materials that they use and the screen accuracy and the head sculpts and the accessories. They're all nailed on. It's also the choice of subject matter. I can't wait to pose this guy in the display alongside some other heroes from the 80s, alongside Rambo and Commando and the rest of the guys from those classic 80s actioners. I think he's going to look fantastic. So a verdict. Well, as I mentioned, accessories nailed on, absolutely 100%, as always with Kaustic Plastik, from the lovely metal barbed wire to all the weaponry. Outfit, pretty much perfect. Stitch work perfect. The fit, the finish, the fall, everything is there. That head sculpt a lot better than I was giving it credit for. I suppose really the only niggle I've got here, maybe if I wanted to be completely anal, would be the proportions are ever so slightly off to my eye, but that could just be my eye, and maybe that sticker on the base, it could have done with something a little bit more adult, shall we say. But overall, I think what Kaustic Plastik have given us here is yet another phenomenal piece. I'm sort of waiting for them to drop the ball, and I don't think they are likely to. I think it's a fantastic piece. I think it'll look great in the 80s section, and I think it's a fitting tribute to Chuck and his body of work. I just think it's a marvellous piece. It's another winner from Kaustic Plastiks. So, score out of 10. Oh, now that is that's a tough one. I'm not going to give it a 10. I'm going to give it, it's somewhere, is it a 9? Is it a 9.5? I'm going to give it a 9.5. And just for that minor issue to my eye with the proportions just being a tad off, and maybe the top of that base as well. Maybe a 9.7. I've never given a 9.7 on the channel before. Yeah, let's go with a 9.7, but it's just another phenomenal piece from Kaustic Plastik. So there you have it, folks. That is Kaustic Plastiks' take on Chuck Norris, aka Colonel James Braddock. What's your thoughts on this particular piece? What are your thoughts on Kaustic Plastik? What are your thoughts on Chuck Norris? What are your thoughts on Missing in Action, its sequels? Please drop a comment in the comment section below. Nothing is off menu. What have we got coming up on the channel? Well, there's a raft of new reviews coming. We've got stuff from Hot Toys, from InArt, from Present Toys, Susu Toys, obviously Kaustic Plastik. We've got stuff from Iconic Studios, from X06, so the list goes on. So as I mentioned at the top there, please hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you be sure not to miss any of the 1/6 scale goodness coming up. And I suppose all it remains for me to say is, from the legend that is Chuck Norris and myself, take care of yourselves, thank you for watching, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.